Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Gauranitai ki jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki. Shri Shri Radhamadava ki. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Harinama Sankirtanam ki. Transcendental Book Distribution ki jai. Lord Shri Ramnavami coming very soon ki jai. Shri Ramchandra Bhagavan ki jai. God Premanandi, oh glorious to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and all glories to Shri Prabhupada. Nama Om Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Devasesha Sanyavadi Astichare Shatare. Hare Krishna. Pardon? A short introduction. Okay. Make it short.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj ka स्वागत करेंगे हरे कृष्णा बोल के हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। तो छोटे शब्दों में महाराज का अभिमान। महाराज 1972 में प्रभुपाद जी से दीक्षित हुए और यूके, यूरोप, अफ्रीका, इंडिया, मलेशिया, फिलीपींस, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, न्यूजीलैंड और अमेरिका, इन सारे देशों में अलग अलग तरीके से प्रचार करके महाराज ने कृष्णा कॉन्सेप्ट को स्प्रेड किया। एंड स्पेशली महाराज का जो हरिनाम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन महाराज का फोकस है, जो कि लॉर्ड चैतन्य महाप्रभु का मिशन है। और लास्ट मेनी इयर्स महाराज जो है अब फ्रांस में स्टैब्लिश हैं और जो न्यू मायापुर प्रोजेक्ट है, जहाँ जो कि यूरोप का ओनली प्रोजेक्ट जो इस्कॉन है, और वहाँ के लॉर्ड श्री कृष्ण बलराम जी जो के एकमात्र सिटीज हैं, तो वहाँ पे महाराज सेट कर रहे हैं। वहाँ के नेशनल एडवाइजर हैं और फ्रांस को पूरा गाइड कर रहे हैं इन सर्विस कृष्णा का। तो ये सब अपने कोर्स को सैल्यूट कर सकते हैं और बच्चे तो आज हैं तो ध्यान पूर्वक सर्व कर सकते हैं।
Well, we're having a translation into Hindi, is that right? Yes, ma'am. How many of you do not speak Hindi? Hands up. English. You don't need to translate that. Put your hands up if you don't speak Hindi. 2. You don't speak Hindi? No Hindi? Doesn't speak Hindi.
कितने लोग नहीं जानते? कितने लोग हिंदी नहीं जानते?
I said if you do not speak Hindi, put your hand up.
अगर आप हिंदी नहीं बोलते हैं तो हाथ करेंगे।
Hi. No Hindi. Hindi
नहीं आती।
What language does he speak?
Hindi.
He put his hand up.
confused. It's mistaken.
Pretty simple question. So it looks like there's 2 devotees. So you're going to have to find it on the mobiles because we're not going to be reading everything on English. Is it? We're going to put a verse up with it. Not that sure. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Bhagavatam. We are Bhagavatam, but it doesn't look like we've got it. Is there a book? Is there a book?
No,
We'll read 23. I don't know if you can quickly put 23 on the board. This chapter is the Lord Ramachandra rules the world.
आज हम पाठ करेंगे श्रीमद् भागवत नौवां स्कंद
As tomorrow is Ram Navami.
और 23वां श्लोक
Tomorrow is Ram Navami? Is that right? Yes. So you're having Ram Katha for some days before.
तो आप लोग राम कथा सुन रहे होंगे कुछ दिनों से
Wonderful festival occasion tomorrow of the appearance of Sri Ramchandra Bhagavan.
बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण दिन है भगवान रामचंद्र का प्रकट दिवस है
And of course, Ramchandra, Lord Krishna, Lord Ramchandra, one sense one, but there's differences there in their manifestation of their various opulences, in their pastimes, in their qualities.
तो भगवान राम और भगवान विष्णु सेम ही है वो आते हैं अपने अलग-अलग गुणों का प्रभाव दिखाने के लिए अपने गुणों को प्रकट करने के लिए
So we're going to. You okay there?
Hindi.
On the board, you should put Hindi. On the electronic board, if you've got one. Good. So, we'll prepare ourselves a little bit in our consciousness for entering into tomorrow's, you could say, festival.
हम अपनी चेतना को बनाने का प्रयास कर सकते हैं कल के त्योहार के लिए
What do you do here? Do you fast until noon or till moon?
आप कब तक फास्टिंग करते हैं कल
Till noon, not till moon. Some places it's noon, some places it's moon.
कुछ जगह पे शाम तक फास्टिंग करी जाती है कुछ जगह पे सुबह तक 12 बजे तक फास्टिंग करी जाती है
That's another topic. Whatever it is, tomorrow's a festival.
जो भी है कल बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण त्योहार है
To remember the Lord's wonderful, let's say, pastimes, His mercy of appearing in various forms.
तो कल हम स्मरण कर सकते हैं भगवान की लीला को भगवान की कृपा को जब वो प्रकट होते हैं इस
To attract our consciousness away from self-centered, conditional, materialistic mentality.
हमारी चेतना को आकर्षित करने के लिए अपनी तरफ इस बहुत अपनी सेल्फ सेंटर्ड चेतना से
There's no Hindi word for self-centered.
स्वयं आकर्षण से
So we'll chant this verse and we'll discuss a few aspects of, if we can, of what we can imbibe, what we can absorb, what we can learn. And what Lord Ramchandra is, besides the wonderful pastimes and everything else, what we can learn from his appearance or his pastimes.
अभी हम इस श्लोक का उच्चारण करेंगे और इससे हम सीखने का प्रयास करेंगे अब्जॉर्ब करने का प्रयास करेंगे कि क्या भगवान रामचंद्र हमें सिखाना चाहते हैं उनकी लीला के अलावा
Is it okay? Everyone okay? Translation okay?
Yes, Maharaj.
Is it? Okay. So let's chant the shloka. Purusho Rama Charitam Shravanayrupadayam Annishamsya Paro Rajam Karma Bandhaya Vimuchite Purusho Rama Charitam Shravanayrupadayam Amrishamsya Paro Rajam Karma Bandhaya Vimuchite. This word in the third line, Amrishamsya, is a bit of a tongue twister, he's saying.
जो तीसरी लाइन में शब्द है अनुष है, ये एक तरीके से बोलने में बड़ा कठिन है।
But it's in one sense the most significant, especially when the word paro is added. It's the most significant verse.
और दूसरी दृष्टि से बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण शब्द है जब खासकर इसके साथ जब परो लगा दिया गया है।
In the verse, because this is one of the most significant effects of Lord Ramachandra Bhagavan's appearance and his manifestation of extraordinary superhuman pastimes.
क्योंकि ये दर्शाता है कि कैसे भगवान रामचंद्र एक असाधारण अद्वितीय जो लीला करते हैं।
So bear this in mind. Maybe I can't turn my head around to see it. It's in Hindi anyway. But I think the word for word is also there on the board or not?
No.
Where is it?
I'll read it from the book.
Oh, it's going to come up afterwards. You just got the extra short. There's very significant aspect, you could say, of Ram Leela. Repeat the verse again. Ramacharitam Shravanarupadarayam Anrishamsya Purorajam Karmabandha Vimuchate Purusho Ramacharitam Shravanarupadarayam Anrishamsya Purorajam Karmabandha Vimuchate. Ramacharitam Anvishamsha Parorajan Dharmabandhaya Vimurchate Charitam Ladies, I'm going to go through the word for word because every word is significant. So I'll speak a few comments. We just translate it as we go. Purushaha. So I think you all know the meaning of Purush. But here Prabhupada, generally it refers to male or supreme person, but here Prabhupada says any person.
Yes. Ramacharitam.
You don't say anything. So this, I think, what is the Ramayana by Tulsidas? What is it called? Come on, what's the name of the book? Which, huh? One person. What is it called? Put your hand. Yes. Ramchi. Okay. So it's the same thing. Narrations concerning the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Ramchandra. And this is you could say, one of the essential features of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the very beginning, we see the sages of Naimishranya. They want to hear about the narrations of the personality of Godhead in his various incarnations. There's a progress towards eligibility to hear the most essential, and you could say the deepest, most topmost pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna. So hearing Ram Katha, Lord Ramchandra's pastimes, is, even if we have our affection primarily, you could say, towards Radha Krishna, it's nonetheless extremely inspiring, purifying, and preparatory. Like sometimes devotees are so advanced, they think, we don't need to chant Namaste Narasingaya, blah, blah. You may have noticed that sometimes we're carrying a few bags of anartha with us. Have anyone got a bag of anarthas? There's a lot of bags of anartha here. Leave your bags outside, please, before you come in. Please don't bring them in here. Be nice, huh? Well, that's the idea, that when we come together, now Lord Nrsimhadev, we all know, you could say the interrelation, the speciality of Lord Nrsimhadev's pastimes and his mercy in connecting us to Radha and Krishna. And we all know that Radha and Krishna, of course, their pastimes of Lord Krishna are complete in all forms of relationship and pastime, etc. Full manifestation of the Lord's qualities in every way. And other forms may only manifest a certain aspect of the Lord's opulences. So hearing about Lord Nrsimhadev, we're chanting Namaste Narasingha, other prayers appealing to Lord Nrsimhadev, are very significant in relationship to pure devotional service, in relationship to Radha and Krishna. Because we have this tendency to identify with the body. We have a tendency to see ourselves in the center. Has anyone here got you know this English word, ravenous? Have you heard this word, ravenous? It's an English word, ravenous, believe it or not. Anyone know what ravenous means? Not ravana, ravenous. It's related. Do you know what it means? Yeah, it can be used, especially as used for eating. The person is very ravenous. He can't control his tongue when it comes to eating. Some of you may have this tendency at prasadam time, I don't know. It certainly used to be quite common. I haven't studied the behavior of devotees with prasadam much recently. It's generally used for food, but you could, in a broader sense of the term, a person could be ravenous, like a raven, a bird. They're all coming from a similar root, you could say. But lusty or just maddened for, the objects of your sense gratification. There's no limit,
ये रावण शब्द है, ये रेवन से आ रहा है। इसका एक तरीके से मतलब ये है कि व्यक्ति बहुत ज्यादा काबुल हो जाता है, बहुत ही ज्यादा पागल हो जाता है इंद्र तृप्ति के इच्छाओं।
A bit like Ravana.
जैसे कि रावण।
Ravana, very close word, huh? There's no limits. I mean, sure, in the way of food, he was probably pretty enthusiastic there too. In the way of eating, I would imagine. But certainly in the sense of, enjoying sex life, enjoying power, and so on. He was extremely enthusiastic.
ये खासकर दर्शाता है ना, ये शब्द खाने के लिए दर्शाता है, पर दूसरे दृष्टि से देखा जाए तो रावण था वो सेक्स लाइफ और इस चीज के लिए बहुत ज्यादा उत्तेजित था।
He just misdirected, you could say, his passion.
उसने अपने जो रजोगुण को गलत दिशा में मोड़ रखा था।
And primarily he saw himself as the Purush. He was determined. This is the disease of everyone in this world. We all think we are Purush. Even women, ladies, they also think they're the Purusha. This mentality is the very cause of our remaining in this conditioned world. There's a famous verse in the 5th canto of Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasingaya Namaste Avir Bhava Vajunaka Vajuraksha Karmashan Vandaya Tomo Grasa Om Swaha Abhayam Atmani Bhuishtung Shraum. And many of you know this verse. It's quite another one following it also. But specifically this one. What are we asking for? Give me more prasadam, give me samosa and gulab, give me roti, give me this. No, give me money, give me a wife, give me a nice house, give me power to rule over everyone else. Is that what we're asking Lord Nrsingadev for? What are you asking for? Huh? What do you say?
He's saying, remove the anartha from the heart.
Yeah, remove, cut out, tear out all the anarthas, particularly envy. This envy is inevitable as long as we have this mentality of seeing ourselves in the center. So even if we're very jollily going ahead with our Hare Krishna, it can be with envy and pride. Ravana was a little bit proud, huh? He wouldn't even listen to his own family, his own counselors, if it didn't agree with what he thought. Yeah. What's the use of having a committee if they have no say? They have to agree with everything you say, otherwise they're out. Get out. Doesn't mean nothing. It's a bunch of lackeys. Lackeys. You know lackeys? No brain. They just do what they're told. It is like that, Even Kumbhakarna, if he didn't agree with him, he didn't fight with him, but he didn't agree with him, that was like he couldn't take it.
तो जो कुंभकर्ण भी था वो भी रावण से सहमत नहीं हुआ था, मान नहीं रहा था.
It's the epitome of, you could say, false ego. The epitome, you know this word? I'm sorry, I'm using English words which are not so common. It's the pinnacle, it's like, you know, the extreme of false ego. Oh. Sometimes we have a little of this Ravana mentality, huh? Ever noticed it? You've noticed it? It's me. And even, you know, I'm the best devotee. We're kind of like, we got this thing, I know it right, I've got it right. My idea, my understanding, yeah, I've got it. I have to find a way of convincing everyone else, without them thinking I'm proud, of accepting what I want. Or not even revealing it at all and just being envious of others. You know, envy has a broad subject matter, it's a very broad subject. And, you know, it's like Ravana was extremely envious of Ram when he heard that he had such a beautiful consort, a beautiful partner, a wife, whatever. He couldn't bear it. Someone has some beautiful wife and they're enjoying her, not me. I have to get her. I have to get her. I am the enjoyer. I have to be recognized. I have to be given respect. I have to be given a position. Yes. Nobody realizes how great I am yet. Ravana, he was, I'd say realized, but he was convinced he was the greatest. Undefeatable. And everything's meant for my pleasure. This is the false ego, it is extreme. The whole universe. Not just Rohini. I am the president of Rohini. Listen to me. I am the president here. Is he here? Where is the president? Where is he? Where is he? There he is. I have to know who the president is because, you know, I have to know how to defend myself afterwards. You have to be careful we don't get carried away sometimes, huh? Is he all right? Is he okay? I hope you have a complaints box here somewhere. Suggestion. More positive, a suggestion box. Yes, that's another aspect of Lord Ramchandra. He was very concerned to make sure that all the citizens were happy, right? In fact, in one sense, it's a significant part of his pastimes when he discovered that one of the citizens was not happy. Oh. In regards to a temple president or a GBC, there's another pastime. Another citizen who wasn't happy, right? That dog who came to the gates of Ayodhya. You all know that story, right? Famous story, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj tells. You know it? Yes or no? They had an open, like, you know, arrangement. Anyone who had any issue, same with Krishna, any issue with Dwarka, any complaint, anything unnatural, Somebody has caused you harm for what reason you do not know. You go there and you get to vent your grievances or speak your grievances even to the king. So open. It's not like, oh, arrest them, they've got a different opinion. Kick them out, ban them. So one time when the minister came back, there's no one there. Lord Ram said, you sure there's no one there? Ramraj. Maybe everyone is satisfied, naturally it's Ramraj. But still, maybe there's someone there. Well, there's just a dog there. A dog. A scrawny old dog, it's got some blood coming down from the mouth. Well, better find out what's going on. So they went to see the dog. Wasn't an ordinary dog. Dog could speak Hindi. Whatever language they speak in Ayodhya at that time. And started explaining he had a problem, he had a complaint. In your kingdom, my lord, there is some misbehavior. I have been mistreated. I'm very old. I can't move very well. I'm not in good shape. And I was lying on the path. I was tired. And I was lying on the path, and one Brahmin came along. And had a stick. Said, hey, get out the way. Out the way, you dirty pooch. I couldn't move properly. And he started to beat me. Bam, wow, whoa. That's the blood. This is not right. This is unright. I says, no, not proper behavior. Oh, it sounds really bad. A Brahmin did this? Well, you can say normally you don't punish a Brahmin, but still, this is an interesting situation. Call the Brahmin. Even if you're a Brahmin, you've got to be careful. Call the Brahmana. Brahmin came. Said, is this true? Oh, yeah, yes. I know. I lost control, I got angry, and bang, bang, So what to do? Well, let the dog decide what to do. What punishment? We can't really punish the Brahmin. So we'll let the dog, what does the dog have to suggest? Well, very interesting suggestion. Dog, back to your Siddhanta. The dog, because this Brahmin was in a mutt, one of the religious mutt. Let the Brahmin become the GBC of the mutt. What? That's not a punishment. The Brahmin was in ecstasy. Wow. Whoa. Okay. I've been praying for that my whole life. And hey, the dog's just asking me, blessing me to become the GBC. Excited. Everyone was thinking, they were puzzled. The dog has got some problems. Is a bit crazy or what? We promoted him. They say this is the magnanimous heart of a devotee, maybe. They want everyone else to, have the position. So they said, why have you done that? The dog said, in my last life, I was the GBC of the mass. So we're back to Siddhanta Maharaj. Another makeup. It's a warning, that's all. It's not that that's what happens, of course not. But it's a warning to all of us, be careful. This Ravana's mentality sometimes does overcome us. We think we're the controller, the enjoyer, the center of attraction, whatever. The position. Being awarded the position means we have more opportunity to cultivate the mood of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gopi Bhakta Pada Kamalam Dasa Dasa Dasa.
तो अगर हमें कोई महत्वपूर्ण पोजीशन दी जाती है तो इसका मतलब ये है कि हमें चैतन्य महाप्रभु के मूड को और अच्छे से अख्तियार करना है.
So that's a very significant aspect of Lord Ram's Leela.
ये बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण सिद्धांत है भगवान रामचंद्र की लीला का.
By hearing, as this verse today says, one can become, by hearing, and we'll go through the words more thoroughly in a minute, or by approaching Radha and Krishna through the proper channels, one can become purified in heart, so that we can actually become, let's say, eligible to enter into those pastimes.
जैसे इस श्लोक में आगे बताया भी गया है कि जब हम राधा कृष्ण को अप्रोच करते हैं या उनकी लीलाओं को सुनते हैं तो हमारा हृदय शुद्ध होता है.
Just like a few days ago, was it the appearance or disappearance of Srivas Thakur? Appearance? Whatever. But famous, many pastimes. But famous pastime of the milk drinking Brahmana. Huh? Very austere Brahmana. Very pure in one sense. But there was a little proud there, a little pride. I am only living on milk. Oh, I am chanting 64 rounds a day. I am only eating a Kadashi Prasadam. I am only sleeping 12 hours a day. Whatever. Sometimes a little touch of pride comes into our austerities. Krishna likes to take it away. There is no room for pride and envy in devotional service. So that Brahmana somehow or another convinced Srivas Thakur to allow him to enter into the Sankirtan, the Prem Sankirtan pastimes taking place throughout the night in Srivas Thakur's Srivas Angan. He hid in the house, knowing very well that Lord Chaitanya was very strict. Who was allowed in? Lord Chaitanya started dancing and dancing as the kirtan was going on and stopped. Why am I not feeling the usual ecstasy tonight? Is there someone in your house who should not be here? No, my Lord, only pure devotees are here, my Lord, only the pure devotees are here. They started again, but still no ecstasy was coming. Tell me the truth, Srivas, is there anyone in the house? My Lord, well, there's a very pure-hearted Brahmana. He only lives on milk. Where is he? Bring him here. They dragged him out from hiding. You think that your austerities make you eligible to enter into this Prem Sankirtan? You cannot enter into this Leela by drinking milk. That doesn't mean Lord Chaitanya was preaching what's it called? Veganism. He wasn't preaching veganism, by the way. He said, kick him out! Get him out of here right now! They dragged him out. Krishna was taking away any element of pride or warning us. As the Brahmin was being dragged out, he thought, how fortunate am I? For a moment, I saw the Lord dancing. My desires were fulfilled. Lord Chaitanya could see his heart
जितना आप उसके उनके हृदय को देख सकते थे,
and immediately said, "Bring him back in.
जितना आपने कहा उसे
He is now qualified. He is now eligible."
अब वो क्वालिफाइड है, वो एलिजिबल है।
A change of heart. So, by hearing Ram Leela, Nishinga pastimes, all these pastimes, purify our heart of various unfavorable devotional services, anukulyena, unfavorable perspectives, concepts in our heart.
जब हम भगवान राम की लीलाएं सुनते हैं, नरसिंहदेव की लीलाएं सुनते हैं, तो हमारे हृदय में जो भक्ति के प्रतिकूल जो भी सिद्धांत है वो सब नष्ट होते हैं।
And we're praying to Lord Nrsingadev, please tear out from my heart this envy, this desire for sense gratification. Remove it from my heart so that we can become established in pure devotional service.
हमें प्रार्थना करनी चाहिए भगवान नरसिंहदेव से कि हमारे हृदय से इस अहंकार की भावना है, जो ईश्वर की भावना है, इसको बिल्कुल काट करके ताकि हम
Step by step we go through Srimad Bhagavatam. Now we're on the 9th canto, the canto just preceding Krishna Lila. To develop this mood of unalloyed devotional service towards the Lord. Have any of you ever been involved in building a house? Any of you, you've overseen a building of a house or been a part of overseeing it, maybe? Some of you are involved in building this beautiful temple, I think. I'm sure the president is are you involved?
In some repairs.
Repairs?
Yeah, repair of the house and the construction we have seen this.
Repairs?
In his house.
No, I'm talking of the temple now. Are you involved? You're involved, that's good.
Everything happening in front of us.
Yeah, happening. So, what do? You build the roof first, or what? Is that how you build a house? You start with a roof? Oh, very intelligent. Somebody over here has the knowledge of engineering. He must be a civil engineer, a professional. Foundation. You have to have a bit of a foundation there, a little bit of sambandha has to be there. Knowledge of how to do it. Huh? You have to know the goal, but you don't reach the goal without knowledge of how to reach the goal. It's just plain common sense. Plain common sense. There's a process to achieve the goal. Oh, Bhagavatam is very systematic like that. And what's the foundation? You could say, we're talking here in terms of practical, rendering practical, of all the various rasas or leelas, whether it's basically we're talking about with Krishna. What's the foundation? Is it Madhurya Ras? We start with Madhurya Ras? Maybe that's the goal. But do you start there? And you're still watching movies? And you're still, watching cricket? You're still buried in politics? You're still addicted to the family? And other things, maybe chocolate, God knows what. Maybe tea. And you're talking about Madhurya Ras. Doesn't work. But what's the foundation? Dasya Ras. We have to understand that that's our constitution. That's the foundation of all, you could say, the various rasas. The mood of service and understanding what that really means. It's unmotivated. It's not a service where we're thinking of, I will get freed of sinful reactions. I will be promoted. I will gain something here. I'll feel happy. I'll get this, I'll get that, whatever. That's not the mood of pure devotional service. So we imbibe this, so we can clearly see this in Ram Lila, this mood of unalloyed service. Other rasas are manifested in more localized ways, you could say, in Ram Lila, not very pervasive. Mostly it's the mood of Dasya ras, which is prominent in this Lila. And that has to be fully understood and realized. With that humble, it is based on daino, or complete humility, that the only thing that matters is the will of the Lord. It doesn't matter whether I'm happy or not, whether I'm praised or not, whether you send me to hell or heaven, it doesn't matter. This mood of Narayana Parayana, this mood of complete surrender, or taking complete shelter, total dependence upon the Lord. Knowing that everything is meant for His pleasure, including me. Everything except for me sometimes, but it actually includes me as well. So this is, maybe our goal is not, to enter into the pastimes of Ram Lila, but it's a very important part of our, say, understanding the mood. Even in the pastimes of Krishna, I mean, we see there are various progressions almost. Childhood pastimes, very sweet, but full of the removal of anarthas also. As long as those demons are still given, as long as we welcome them into our hearts, we're not eligible to enter into Krishna Lila. Not you can do your homework on that one, but we welcome anarthas sometimes. We love gossip, especially if it's something to do with somebody we've got an issue with, whatever the cause may be. It's a very, practically speaking, this age of Kali, this finding fault is one of the prime forms of sense gratification in Kali Yuga. Finding fault in ourselves is one thing, but we have this tendency to find fault in others. Another one of the many qualities of Ravana. We see ourselves in the center and we find fault in others. We don't like it when someone points out our own faults. Who are you to tell me that? You did this, you did that, you don't chant properly, I listen. Why are you telling me? Whatever. Tendency is to be there in Kali Yuga. And we have a wonderful system in Kali Yuga. It's generally called social media, I think. Excellent system for spreading gossip. Especially if it's an untruth, especially if it's not true. It's an excellent system of saying whatever you like, and if you distribute it sufficiently, people start to believe it. This is Kali Yuga. It even happened in Dwarka, of all places, Shyaman Thakur Jewel, Lord. Even Krishna was defamed. It's so common. Be very careful. So we'll just read some of these words and the purport, and then that will be our time will be up. And we haven't started. Yesterday I didn't open, and today we haven't opened it either. The treasure chest of lessons. But here's one of them at least. So the next word in this word for word, Shravanaihi, and we all know what that means, I think. Don't say anything. Shravanaihi. What does that mean? Say it now, you can ask the question. Well, it's very difficult because you can see it on the board. Very, very hard, but if you don't read English, you may not know what it means. What is Shravanai? It comes up again and again. It's the first thing you could say. Shravana Kirtana Vandana Beautiful song of Govindadas. So what does it mean, Shravanai? Oral reception. Hearing through the ears. We drink through the ears. The nectar of Krishna Katha, Ram Katha. It purifies. If we hear the next word, Upadaram, simply by this process of hearing, just by this one of hearing. But it means hearing with attention, not just, in one ear, out the other, or manipulating what we hear, trying to, put it into, into context of my own perception.
श्रवण का मतलब है सुनना, ध्यानपूर्वक सुनना, ऐसा नहीं कि एक कान से निकाल के दूसरे एक कान से डाल के दूसरे निकाल देना, या अपने perception के हिसाब से सुनना.
And then we come to this word here, which is a benediction, but it's not a free benediction in one sense. You have to deserve it. You have to do what's needed to get it. This unusual word, angrishangsya paraha. If you're feeling a little tired, go to sleep.
ये बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है, जो क्योंकि ये बेनिफिट है, ये सिर्फ बेनिफिट नहीं है, ये अगर आप इसको डिजर्व करते हैं तभी आपको मिलेगा.
Is that right? Is that right? What do you do in the class if you're feeling a bit tired?
अगर आप क्लास में अगर टायर्ड फील कर रहे हैं,
sometimes Prabhupada would be giving class, more or less everyone would be down like this, even Prabhupada. Bhagavatam class, not an easy one. Huh? To hear with oral reception simply by this process of hearing Bhagavatam. One can become completely free from envy. What a... It's the root of all evil, all problems, envy. Seeing ourselves in the center. Why? Why should Krishna be Purush? I am Purush. We like to see like that. But this is the problem. Oral, submissive oral reception of Krishna Katha or Ram Katha purifies the heart, particularly Ram Katha, because we're preparing to hear Krishna Katha. Purifies us of this root problem of envy. Karma. And karma bandhaihi. One becomes liberated, vimuchite, liberated from the bondage, this karma bandhana, this bondage of material or fruitive activity. Freed in all of its forms. Such is the power of hearing Ram Katha or Krishna Katha, any Katha, Krishna Hari Katha, from the right source with submissive oral reception. That means accepting it without any doubt within one's heart. So doubts have to be. Arjuna had doubts. Krishna removed the doubts. They also have to be removed. So we hear with full attention, rapt attention. As Sutta Goswami says to the sages of Naimisharanya, now you hear this subject with rapt attention, as I heard it from Sukadev. You now hear it with rapt attention. So there's a foundation also to hearing with rapt attention. Prabhupada describes that in the purport. One has to be pure in mind. And to become pure in mind, one has to become pure in one's eating, sleeping, mating, defending everything. Otherwise, we're not rapt. Our mind is going all over the world, all over the show. But by the simple process of hearing the holy name, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All submissive, all reception. Krishna does the rest. He cleanses our consciousness of all these dirty things. There's no room for dirty things in Ayodhya or in Golok. And the purport, the verse, you can see it. Is it there, the verse? Go to the verse. Who's the computer wizard? Huh? Go to the verse. Translation. In Hindi. Huh? Well, I would like it to be on the board. Is it not? You don't have it on your computers or mobiles? The translation of this verse, Purusha, or whatever. Okay, that's in English. I want the Hindi. You don't have Hindi. It's not on the system. I believe we'd save a lot of time if it was in Hindi. Quickly. हे राजा परीक्षित, जो भी व्यक्ति भगवान रामचंद्र के गुणों में से संबंधित कथाओं को कानों से सुनता है, वह अंततोगत्वा ईर्ष्या के रोग से मुक्त हो जाएगा और फलस्वरूप कर्म बंधन से छूट जाएगा. There's another word used in this verse, ultimately. It means it doesn't necessarily happen, boom. The process begins at the beginning. It doesn't end at the beginning. Later on in the third canto of Bhagavatam, there's described there, I think Lord Kapila is speaking, someone's speaking, about how this mountain of sin in our heart can be destroyed by taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. There's a long verse describing the Ganges and how it purifies everybody and everything in the universe. Because it's touched the lotus feet, the Ganges coming from the lotus feet of the Lord. So similarly, it's gone now, loading. We're loading. So ultimately, so Prabhupada describes, therefore, the aspiring yogi must continue to hear carefully for a long time. Hear again and again and again. It's not, I heard that, what's next? Isn't it amazing? We chant Hare Krishna every day in, day out, as much as we can. Year after year, decade after decade. And, we're not fed up with it, we're quite happy. But we're still carrying some baggages of unwanted desires and unwanted concepts in our heart. We're still a bit attached to them. Huh? Don't want to let go. It's mine. This is my bag. It's mine. It's me. This is me.
मैं हूँ.
Mentality sometimes gets the better of us. But this is great. You can become emuchita. You can become liberated from this.
आप इन सबसे मुक्त हो सकते हैं.
If we follow these stages, step by step, foundation up, lotus feet up, eventually we'll become eligible for the smiling face of the Lord. The smiling face of the Lord.
धीरे-धीरे अगर अपने आप शुरू करेंगे तो हम भगवान के जो मुस्कुराता चेहरा उस तक पहुंच सकते हैं.
And Ramchandra and his army of monkeys are destroying, like and pounding to pieces all these anarthas when they're destroying the army of Ravana. It was not easy. There were a few setbacks, to say the least. It looked like they were being defeated sometimes. Maya is very strong. But eventually, victory was theirs. That awaits every devotee if we stick to it. Utilize everything we've been given in Krishna's service, every single hair. And then the enemies will be destroyed. The enemies will be destroyed. We can't, if we're harboring enemies within, we can't expect to destroy the enemies without. They're right, and just like Prabhupada said in our Iskcon movement, nothing out external can stop this movement, only when there is an internal dissension. We're here not just to purify our hearts, we're here to develop prema, Krishna prema, but we have to take the process which cleanses our consciousness. First step, cleanse our consciousness. First step. And then, what's the next verse? First, just do it. I forgot. But then the compassion for other living entities comes in. Compassion. When our hearts cleanse, you know this word, compassion?
Yes.
Compassion for other living entities comes in. One can generally act in Dasyarasa as a servant of the will of the Lord. Whatever you say, my Lord, I'm prepared to do whatever you will. This is Prabhupada showed us this by his practical life. Because we haven't grasped this ABC completely. Prabhupada didn't go on so much to the other aspects of Leela, not so much. He established the goal ultimately, but we had to mostly focus on Sambandha and the beginning stages of Abhideya. But that's not to say that's still like just coming out of the foundation. You can't live in a foundation or just with a few, although people in India do. Ultimately, that's not the goal. You have to build a house for the whole world to live in. And that means we have to prepare. We have to be ready in our hearts, selfless, pure-hearted. So then Prabhupada writes in the purport, here in this material world, everyone is envious of someone else. Everybody. It might be an animal, you want to eat them. They've got something I want. That's also envy. Even in religious life, it is sometimes found that if one devotee is advanced in spiritual activities, other devotees are envious of him. may try to find fault or praise themselves or belittle that devotee, etc. Such envious devotees are not completely freed from the bondage of birth and death. As long as one is not completely free from the cause of birth and death, one cannot enter the Sanatan Dham, or the eternal pastimes of the Lord. One becomes envious because of being influenced by the designations of the body. But the liberated devotee has nothing to do with the body. And therefore he is completely on the transcendental platform. So though we may not be, we're following Vaishnava, we're following the Mahajanayana, we're following those who are on this liberated platform. And to the degree that we follow, we're also ihayasya haredasya. We're also considered to be on that liberated platform. We're in the bus, we're in the boat, with the captain guiding or taking us across this ocean. A devotee is never envious of anyone, even his enemy. That means he doesn't have any ill feeling at all. He only has compassion towards his enemy. He's praying for their welfare. Look at Haridas Thakur when he was being beaten in the marketplaces, and his mentality. Because the devotee knows that the Supreme Lord is his supreme protector, the devotee thinks, what harm can the so-called enemy do? Thus the devotee is confident about his protection. In the Bhagavad Gita 4:11, Krishna says, Ye yatamam papadyate tam stataiva bhajamyaham. What does he say? It's written, maybe it's there on the board, I can't see, but it's written, according to the proportion of one's surrender unto me, I respond accordingly. The more we surrender, Krishna will take away. He'll cleanse our heart from all these abhadras. When we're attentively hearing the message of Bhagavatam, Srinvatam Svakata Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana, Dantak Stoya Bhadrani, Vidinoti Saritsatam. Krishna cleanses away these abhadras, these anarthas from our heart. A devotee must therefore be completely free from envy, especially of other devotees. To envy other devotees is a great offense of Vaishnava aparad. A devotee who constantly engages in hearing and chanting, Shravana Kirtana, is certainly freed from the disease of envy. And thus he becomes eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. Prabhupada ki jai. So, Hare Krishna. I didn't read anything which we were hoping to read, but never mind. Other than this verse and purport. Well, the time is finished. It's 9:30.